the massive alien ship appeared above Earth without warning. It was bigger than any city, casting a shadow over half of Europe. The ship's surface was smooth and silver, like liquid metal frozen in time. Commander Jack stood in the United Nations Command Center, watching the screens. Around him, military leaders from every nation gathered. General Smith from America, Colonel Even from Russia, and Admiral Lee from China all stared at the same thing, the impossible ship hanging in their sky. "Sir, they're sending a message," said Lieutenant Maya, her fingers flying over the keyboard. The main screen flickered to life. An alien face appeared. It had gray skin, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and no visible mouth. When it spoke, the voice came from everywhere at once. "Humans of Earth," the alien said. "We are the Vex Empire. Your planet now belongs to us. You have 72 hours to surrender. Resistance will result in total destruction." The transmission ended. The room fell silent. "How many ships do we have ready?" Jack asked quietly. "Not enough," Admiral Lee replied. "Maybe 200 combat-ready vessels. They have technology we can't match." Jack walked to the window, looking up at the alien ship. "Then we use the Black Armada." Everyone turned to stare at him. "That's just a legend," General Smith said. "A story to scare our enemies," Jack smiled grimly. "No, General. It's very real. And it's time the universe learned why humans should never be cornered." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only to a handful of people, alarms began to sound. The Black Armada, humanity's last resort, was waking up. These weren't ordinary ships. They were built using every piece of alien technology humans had secretly captured over the past century. Every crashed UFO, every recovered artifact, every stolen piece of equipment had gone into creating these vessels. Captain Tom received his orders in a submarine 3 miles underwater. He read them twice, then looked at his crew. "It's time," he said simply. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. In hidden mountain bases, under desert sands, and in polar ice stations, the Black Armada stirred. 1,000 ships, each one painted completely black, each one armed with weapons that violated 3 different galactic treaties humans had never signed. The Vex commander, whose name was Crix, sat confidently in his command chair. He had conquered 43 worlds. Earth would be 44. Humans were primitive, still using chemical rockets and nuclear weapons. They stood no chance against the might of the Vex Empire. "Commander," his second-in-command said, "we're detecting movement on the planet's surface." "Expected," Crix replied with what passed for a smile among his species. "They're probably evacuating their cities." Smart, but alternately pointless. But the readings were wrong. Humans weren't evacuating. They were mobilizing. In New York, a 10-year-old boy named Tim watched from his apartment window as something incredible happened. The ground in Central Park split open. From beneath the earth, a black ship rose into the air. It was sleek, angular, and completely silent. More ships emerged from the harbor, from beneath buildings, from places that had seemed normal just moments before. His mother pulled him back from the window. "Come on, Tim. We need to get to the shelter." "But Mom, are those our ships?" She looked out at the rising Black Armada and felt something she hadn't expected. Hope. "Yes, sweetheart. Those are ours." By the end of the first day, 800 Black Armada ships had lifted off from Earth. The Vex Empire had expected panic, surrender, maybe some futile resistance. They had not expected this. Crix studied the sensor readings with growing unease. These ships didn't match any human technology in their database. They were giving off energy signatures that seemed impossible. A mix of Vex technology, Zoran engineering, and something else, something uniquely human that tied it all together. "Sir," his tactical officer said, voice tight with concern, "they're not responding to our communications." "And sir," They're not stopping at Earth's atmosphere. They're coming straight for us. Crix stood up slowly. For the first time in his long career of conquest, he felt a flicker of uncertainty. Shields to maximum. Charge all weapons. The Black Armada rose toward the Vex ship like a swarm of dark stars, and Earth held its breath. Asterisk, the first shot came from the Vex ship. A brilliant green beam of energy lanced through space, aimed at the lead ship of the Black Armada. Captain Tom watched it, coming on his display, his hand steady on the controls. "Activate the absorption field," he ordered calmly. The green beam hit. His ship and simply disappeared. The black hull seemed to drink in the energy, like a sponge absorbing water. Around the bridge, displays lit up showing power levels rising. Energy absorbed and converted. "Captain," reported his weapons officer, Lieutenant Williams. "Shall I return the favor?" "Not yet. Let them waste their ammunition. All ships maintain formation. Execute Pattern Alpha." The 1,000 ships of the Black Armada moved as one, splitting into 10 groups of 100. They surrounded the Vex mothership like wolves circling prey. Each group maintained perfect synchronization, something that should have been impossible for human pilots. But these weren't ordinary human pilots anymore. Each one was connected to their ship through neural interfaces. Technology reverse-engineered from a crashed Zoran scout ship found in Siberia 20 years ago. The pilots could feel their ships, react faster than any normal human could. Commander Crix watched the human ships move with growing alarm. "This is impossible. Their technology is decades behind us." "Sir, I'm reading strange energy signatures from their ships," his science officer said. It's our technology, but modified. Combined with Zoran systems, Kelvin power cores, and something else." "What else?" "Unknown, sir. The computer can't identify it." What the computer couldn't identify was human ingenuity. Humans had done something no other species had ever attempted. They had taken technologies from different alien races and made them work together. It shouldn't have been possible. The technologies were incompatible, like trying to run software from one computer on completely different hardware. But humans had found a way. They had created something new, something unprecedented in galactic history. On Earth, people watched from shelters and bunkers. Every screen showed the same thing, the Black Armada surrounding the massive Vex ship. In London, Prime Minister James addressed the world. "Citizens of Earth," he said, his voice carrying across every channel. "Today, we show the universe that humanity will not bow. We will not surrender. We will fight for our home." Back in space, Crix made a decision. Fire all weapons. Destroy them all. The Vex mothership erupted with light. Hundreds of weapons ports opened, releasing beams, missiles, and plasma bolts in every direction. Space itself seemed to burn with the fury of the assault. The Black Armada responded instantly. Each ship's absorption field activated, swallowing energy weapons. Physical projectiles were met with impossibly precise point defense systems. And then, as one, they returned fire. Captain Tom felt his ship's weapons charge. The sensation was strange, like flexing a muscle he hadn't known existed. Through the neural link, he could feel the power building, waiting to be released. "All ships, fire," came Jack's voice over the command channel. 1,000 black ships fired simultaneously. But these weren't normal weapons. The beams were pitch black, visible only as absences of light, holes in space itself. They converged on the Vex mothership's shields. The shields, designed to stop every known form of attack, flickered and failed in seconds. The black beams ate through them like acid through paper. "Impossible," Crix shouted. "Those shields can withstand a supernova." "Sir, the humans are using some kind of anti-energy weapon. It's not destroying our shields, it's deleting them." This was humanity's secret weapon, developed by a brilliant scientist named Dr. Brown in an underground lab in Nevada. He had discovered that by inverting certain alien energy signatures, he could create weapons that didn't just damage, they erased. They removed things from existence at a quantum level. The Vex mothership's hull began to buckle where the beams touched it. Sections of the ship simply ceased to exist, leaving perfect spherical voids. Return fire. All weapons. Crix commanded desperately. But the Black Armada was already moving, executing maneuvers that should have killed any normal pilot. They danced through space, their black hulls making them nearly invisible against the void. Every movement was perfect, coordinated. Lethal Dot in his submarine command center. Admiral Roberts watched the tactical display with satisfaction. Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. Captain Tong received the order and smiled grimly. All ships, prepare for boarding action. Let's show them what humans can do up close. From each Black Armada ship, smaller craft launched. These were boarding pods, each one carrying 50 of Earth's finest soldiers. But like everything else about the Black Armada, these weren't ordinary soldiers. They were wearing power armor reverse-engineered from Kelvin battlesuits, improved with human modifications. Each soldier was enhanced with genetic therapy derived from Vex medical technology. They were faster, stronger, and more resilient than any normal human. The boarding pods shot toward the wounded Vex mothership like arrows toward a target. The real battle was about to begin. The boarding pods hit the Vex mothership's hull with thunderous impacts. Each pod's nose was equipped with plasma cutters that immediately began carving through the alien metal. Inside the lead pod, Sergeant Mike checked his weapon one final time. Remember, he told his squad through the helmet comm, we're not here to destroy. We're here to send a message. The pod breached the hull, and 50 human soldiers poured into the Vex ship. The corridor they entered was vast, designed for beings twice the height of humans. The walls glowed with a sickly green light, and the air smelled like ozone, and something else feared the Vex security forces were waiting. Tall, four-armed beings in silver armor opened fire with plasma weapons. The humans' power armor absorbed the hits, distributing the energy across their suit's surface. Mike raised his weapon, a hybrid rifle combining human engineering with stolen Vex technology, and fired. The weapon didn't make a sound. Instead, it fired compressed gravity pulses that hit the Vex soldiers like invisible hammers. The aliens were thrown back, their armor crumpling under forces their bodies couldn't withstand. Move forward. Squad 2, take the left corridor. Squad 3, secure our exit. Mike commanded. Throughout the ship, similar scenes played out. 50 boarding pods had penetrated the mothership, releasing 2,500 human soldiers into the vessel's interior. They moved with military precision, taking corridor after corridor in the command center. Crix watched his ship's internal sensors with disbelief. The humans were advancing faster than should be possible. His security forces, trained warriors who had never lost a ship-to-ship battle, were being overwhelmed. How? He asked his tactical officer. They're primitives. Sir, they're using our own weapons against us, but modified, enhanced, and sir, they're not trying to reach the engine room or weapon systems. Then, what are they doing? They're heading for the communication array. Crix's 4 eyes widened in understanding. The humans weren't trying to destroy his ship. They were trying to send a message to the entire Vex Empire. Mike and his squad fought their way through another checkpoint. Private Johnson, a young soldier on his first mission, covered their advance with suppressing fire. The Vex defenders fell back, unable to match the humans' aggression and adaptability. Sarge, why aren't they adapting? Johnson asked. They keep using the same tactics. Mike reloaded his weapon while behind cover. That's the difference between us and them, kid. They've been winning the same way for centuries. It forgot how to improvise. Humans? We never stop adapting. It was true. The Vex Empire had conquered worlds through superior technology and overwhelming force. They had standard procedures, proven tactics. But humans had learned to fight through thousands of years of war against each other. They knew guerrilla tactics, psychological warfare, and most importantly, they knew how to turn weakness into strength. On Earth, the world watched as data streams from the battle were broadcast live. In Tokyo, crowds gathered in the streets, despite the danger, cheering every small victory. In Cairo, children drew pictures of the Black Armada ships. In Snow Paulo, scientists analyzed every piece of data, learning, adapting, preparing for the future. Back on the Vex mothership, Mike's squad reached their target, the main communication array. It was a massive chamber, filled with crystalline structures that pulsed with light. At its center was a throne-like chair where the ship's communications officer sat, frantically trying to send a distress signal to the Vex fleet. "Stop," Mike ordered, pointing his weapon at the alien. The Vex officer turned slowly, its 4 eyes showing what Mike recognized as fear. "You don't understand what you're doing? The Empire will send 1,000 ships. They will burn your world to ash." Mike removed his helmet, letting the alien see his face. He was just a human, no scales, no extra arms, no impressive size. Just a man with determined eyes. "Let them come," Mike said. "This is our message to your Empire." He nodded to Private Anderson, their tech specialist. Anderson connected a human device to the alien communication system. Within seconds, he had override control, broadcasting now. "Sarge." The message went out on every Vex frequency, reaching every ship, every colony, every world in their empire. It was simple, recorded by Commander Jack himself. "This is Earth. We are humanity. We do not seek war, but we will not accept slavery. The 1,000 ships you see are not our military. They are our police force. Our true fleet numbers in the tens of thousands, hidden throughout our solar system. Leave now, never return, and spread the word. Earth is protected. Test us, and you will learn why we are the only species in the universe that dropped nuclear weapons on ourselves just to end a war faster." In the command center, Crix received a report that made his blood freeze. Long-range sensors had detected movement throughout Earth's solar system. Thousands of additional signatures, previously hidden, were coming online. Ships were emerging from asteroid fields, from behind moons, from places the Vex had never thought to look. The humans had been ready for this day for decades. Commander Crix stood frozen as the sensor data poured in. Behind Earth's moon, 500 Black Armada ships powered up. From the asteroid belt, another 1,000 emerged from hollowed-out asteroids. Near Jupiter, a massive station revealed itself, bristling with weapons that defied classification. "Sir," his science officer whispered, "if these readings are correct, they have more ships than the entire Third Fleet." But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what the deep scans were showing about Earth itself. "Commander, the planet. It's armed." "What do you mean, armed?" "The entire planet, sir. Every major city has hidden weapon systems. The oceans are full of submarine bases. Even their orbital debris, it's not debris at all. It's dormant weapons platforms." Crix sank into his command chair. The humans hadn't just prepared for invasion. They had turned their entire world into a fortress. On Earth, in a bunker beneath Mount Everest, the truth was being revealed to the world's leaders. General Smith stared at the holographic display showing Earth's true defenses. "My God," he said. "How long has this been going on?" Commander Jack stood with his hands behind his back. 70 years, General. Ever since the first confirmed alien contact in 1950, every nation contributed in secret. Every crashed UFO, every piece of alien technology we found went into this project. The entire world was in on this. Not the entire world. just a select few from each nation. We called ourselves the Earth Defense Initiative. Our mission was simple: ensure humanity's survival at any cost. President Williams of the United States shook his head. The budget? How did you hide this? Black projects, accounting errors, lost shipments, Jack replied. Every military on Earth has been secretly funding this for decades. That missing $1 trillion from the Pentagon? It built the lunar shipyards. Russia's lost submarines? They were retrofitted and hidden. China's ghost cities? Underground pilot training facilities. The revelation was staggering. Humanity had been preparing for this day since they first realized they weren't alone in the universe. Back on the Vex mothership, Mike and his squad were holding the communication center. They had been broadcasting Earth's history of warfare to the entire Vex Empire. Every battle, every war, every time humans had chosen to fight rather than surrender. Sarge, you need to see this, Private Anderson said, pointing at a screen showing intercepted Vex communications. Messages were flooding in from across the Empire. Other conquered worlds were watching. Species that had been enslaved for centuries were seeing something they had never seen before. Someone standing up to the Vex on a world called Kepler 442b. The enslaved Zorans watched Earth's broadcast. Their elder, a being who had lived through the conquest of his world, spoke to his people. The humans fight. After all this time, someone fights. On the mining world of Proxima Centauri, the Kelvins saw the Black Armada in action. Their resistance leaders, who had been hiding in caves for 50 years, began to plan. If the humans can do it, so can we. The Vex Empire was built on fear. Every species believed resistance was futile because no one had ever successfully resisted. But now, Earth was showing the galaxy that the Vex could be fought. They could be hurt. They could be beaten. Crix received an urgent message from the Empire's capital. The Emperor himself appeared on the screen, his ancient face showing concern. Commander Crix explained the situation. Your Majesty, the humans have technology we didn't account for. They've somehow combined multiple alien technologies into functioning weapons. Their entire civilization appears to be militarized. Impossible. Our intelligence said they were divided, primitive. Our intelligence was wrong, Your Majesty. They wanted us to think that it was the greatest deception in human history. For 70 years, humanity had pretended to be divided, weak, constantly fighting among themselves. The public conflicts between nations had been real, but behind the scenes, they had all been working together. Every war had been used to test new technologies. Every international crisis had been cover for moving resources to the secret projects. Captain Tom received new orders from Earth. All Black Armada ships, execute Protocol 7. Protocol 7 was the demonstration, not of firepower, but of capability. The 1,000 ships around the Vex mothership suddenly vanished. Not cloaked, not hidden, they jumped. Using a hybrid of Vex jump drives and human quantum mechanics, they appeared instantly at different points throughout the solar system, then jumped back. The entire maneuver took less than 5 seconds. The message was clear. We can go anywhere, anytime, instantly. Krix understood. The humans weren't just defending. They were capable of offense. They could appear anywhere in the Empire without warning. Sir, his communications officer said, we're receiving a message from Earth's command. Jack's face appeared on the screen. Commander Crix, you have 1 hour to leave our system. Tell your Empire that Earth offers 2 choices, peace and trade, or war and annihilation. We've been preparing for 70 years. We've studied every species you've conquered. We know your weaknesses. Choose wisely. Commander Crix made the only decision he could. With his ship damaged and surrounded by an enemy he had completely underestimated, he ordered the retreat. The massive Vex mothership turned slowly, its engines powering up for the jump back to Empire space. But before they left, Crick sent one final message to Earth. This is not over. The Empire will do nothing. Jack interrupted, appearing on the screen again. Because we're broadcasting this entire battle to every world you've conquered. Right now, billions of enslaved beings are watching their masters run from Earth. How long do you think your empire will last when they realize you can be beaten? Crix cut the transmission. As his ship prepared to jump, he saw something that would haunt him forever. The Black Armada ships formed a corridor, allowing him to leave. They didn't attack the retreating vessel. They simply watched, like predators letting prey escape to spread fear among its kind. The Vex mothership vanished in a flash of light, leaving Earth's skies clear for the first time in 3 days. Around the world, celebration erupted. In New York, Tim and his mother watched from their apartment as the Black Armada ships descended back to Earth. But they didn't land at military bases or hidden facilities. They landed in public spaces, parks, city squares, harbors where everyone could see them. Commander Jack stood before the United Nations, not in a secret bunker, but in the main assembly hall, broadcast to the entire world. People of Earth, he began, today we showed the universe that humanity will not be conquered. But this victory belongs to all of us. For 70 years, your governments worked in shadow to protect you. Every tax dollar that seemed wasted, every military project that seemed to fail, every resource that appeared lost, it all went to this moment. He paused, looking directly at the cameras. But now the secret is out. The Black Armada is no longer hidden. From this day forward, we stand openly as Earth's protectors. And we have a message for any species watching Earth is open for peaceful contact. Come as friends, and you'll find allies. Come as conquerors, and you'll find warriors. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. The technology that had been hidden was gradually released to the public. Medical advances from Vex biology cured diseases. Energy systems from Kelvin cores solved the climate crisis. Transportation adapted from Zoran engines revolutionized travel. Captain Tom retired from the Black Armada, but was asked to lead Earth's first diplomatic mission to freed worlds. As his ship approached the Zoran homeworld, he was met by a fleet not of warships, but of vessels carrying flowers, their traditional greeting for heroes. The Zoran elder who had watched Earth's broadcast met him personally. For 200 years, we waited for someone to show that resistance was possible. You didn't just free yourselves, you freed us all. Reports came in from across the former empire. On dozens of worlds, rebellions had started. The Vex, so used to easy victories, couldn't handle fighting on multiple fronts. Their empire, built on fear, crumbled when that fear turned to hope. Mike, promoted to lieutenant, led training missions for other species wanting to learn human tactics. The Kelvins were particularly eager students. How did you do it? A Kelvin warrior asked during training. How did a species with no natural weapons, no armored skin, no superior strength, become so dangerous? Mike thought for a moment. Because we had to. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every day. No claws? We made spears. No fur? We made clothes. No wings? We built planes. Every weakness forced us to become stronger. And when we learned we weren't alone in the universe, we did what humans always do. We adapted. 1 year after the Battle of Earth, as historians would call it, the galaxy had completely changed. The Vex Empire had fragmented into dozens of independent worlds. A new alliance was forming, with Earth as one of its founding members, not as conquerors, but as protectors. The Black Armada became a peacekeeping force, defending worlds that couldn't defend themselves. Their black ships became symbols of hope rather than fear. Tim, now 11, stood with his class at the Earth Defense Museum. Before them hung a captured Vex banner, and beside it, the flag of Earth, all nation symbols united in a single design. Why did we win? His teacher asked the class. Tim raised his hand. Because we weren't fighting just for ourselves. We were fighting for everyone who couldn't fight. The teacher smiled. That's right. The Black Armada's greatest weapon wasn't its ships or technology. It was the human spirit, the refusal to surrender, the will to protect others, and the courage to stand against impossible odds. As the children left the museum, they looked up at the sky. A Black Armada ship passed overhead, its hull no longer pure black, but decorated with symbols from every freed world. A reminder that Earth's greatest victory wasn't conquering the Vex, but inspiring the galaxy to free itself. The universe had learned an important lesson. Humanity might be young, might be small, might seem weak, but they would never, ever surrender.